Most people spend their entire lives believing that success is slow, that money comes only after decades, that freedom is reserved for a lucky few. And this belief quietly destroys their potential before they ever realize it. Because the truth is not that life is hard, the truth is that people delay decisions, and indecision is the most expensive habit on earth. Napoleon Hill clearly explained that when a person makes a definite decision and refuses to quit, unseen forces begin to move in their favor. But what most people miss is this: the universe does not respond to wishes, it responds to commitment, and commitment is rare. That is why only a small percentage ever rise above average. Look closely at the world around you. Millions wake up every day repeating the same routine, chasing comfort, avoiding discomfort, hoping for change while doing nothing differently. And then they blame time, luck, the economy, or other people. But the real enemy was never outside, it was always within. Their own mind, because the mind either becomes your greatest weapon or your permanent prison. Whatever you repeatedly think, feel, and speak becomes your reality. This is not motivation, this is law, the law of cause and effect. If you constantly tell yourself that you are stuck, limited, unlucky, or behind, your actions will quietly align with that identity, and your life will prove you right. But the moment you decide to think differently, to demand more from yourself, to set a clear and burning purpose, everything begins to shift, not overnight, not magically, but inevitably. Understand this deeply. You do not need to know every step. You only need to know the direction. Clarity creates power, vagueness creates weakness. Most people never win because they never choose one direction and stay with it long enough. They jump, they doubt, they stop, they restart, and then they wonder why nothing works. Success does not respond to scattered energy, it responds to focused obsession. If you give one goal 12 months of disciplined attention, if you show up every day whether you feel motivated or not, if you continue even when progress feels invisible, you will build momentum, and momentum is unstoppable. This is why Napoleon Hill emphasized definiteness of purpose, because once your purpose is fixed, your excuses lose power, fear loses control, and distractions lose importance. But this path is not comfortable. Discipline will demand sacrifice. It will ask you to wake up earlier, to work longer, to say no to things that bring short-term pleasure but long-term regret. And this is where most people quit, not because they cannot continue, but because they value comfort more than growth. And comfort is seductive. It whispers that you deserve rest, that tomorrow is fine, that one day off will not matter. But days become weeks, weeks become years, and suddenly life is over. While discipline speaks quietly but firmly, reminding you that every small action compounds, that every focused hour is building your future, that pain now prevents regret later. The world does not reward intention, it rewards execution. It does not care how many plans you make, it only reacts to what you do consistently. When no one is watching, when applause is absent, when results are delayed, this is the phase where identities are formed, where average people turn back and chosen individuals push forward. Because confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is built through action, through keeping promises to yourself, through doing difficult things repeatedly until they become normal. And once confidence grows, fear shrinks, opportunities expand, and your standards rise. Now imagine this clearly. Imagine yourself 12 months from today. Imagine waking up without financial anxiety, without dependence, without regret. Imagine having control over your time, your choices, and your direction. Imagine people asking how you did it, and you realizing that nothing magical happened. You simply decided and refused to quit. And then ask yourself this uncomfortable but powerful question: if this version of you is possible, what is the cost of delaying it by another year, another month, another day? Because time will pass regardless. The only question is whether you will use it intentionally or waste it unconsciously. 2026 is not just a year on the calendar. It is a dividing line, a line between those who stayed average and those who transformed, and that Transformation will not be decided by talent, luck, or background. It will be decided by discipline, focus, and definiteness, by the willingness to endure temporary discomfort for permanent freedom. So decide now, not emotionally, but firmly. Decide that for the next 12 months you will operate differently, think differently, act differently. Decide that excuses are no longer acceptable, that quitting is no longer an option, that your standards are non-negotiable, because the moment you make a true decision, your behavior changes, your priorities shift, and your future begins to respond. This is not hype. This is principle, and those who understand and apply it become the chosen few, not because they were chosen by fate, but because they chose themselves.